Do, 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 do. It's Sunday. It's a fun day. It's Learning English Day. And something a little special happening right here today. Yes, here we go again. It is Sunday. It is no ordinary day though. Lots of things going on. There is sport taking place, of course, and there is something special right here happening today because it is a special anniversary taking place. Hi everybody, this is Mr. Duncan in England. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? Well, are you happy? I really hope so. A special day today because it is the second anniversary of my live streams starting. It was on this very day, the 15th of July. 2016 when it all started. Would you like to see the first few moments of my first ever live stream? So now we will go back in time 2 years ago. A doopy doopy dee, a da ba da ba doo, a dee be dee be dee, a dee 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 doopy. Oh, hello there. Hi everybody. This is Mr. Duncan in England. It's now 1 minute past 1 o'clock on Friday, the 15th of July 2016. Can you believe we are halfway through 2016 already? I can't believe it. Welcome to English Live. This is the first ever one, the first ever time that I've done something live across the World Wide Web. Unless, of course, you caught me last week doing it. But that was just a test. This is the real thing today. So welcome. This is a very strange feeling, I must admit. I was very nervous this morning. I had to go outside and stand in my front garden and watch the birds for 20 minutes, taking in big, deep breaths of air. So there you go. I hope you can hear me all right. I hope everything is coming through loud and clear. You may notice a few things. First of all, in the studio, you will see, first of all, the clock up there. Can you see? It says 2 minutes past 1, just to prove that I'm really live. It is absolutely live as live can be. I am now live on the internet. Yesterday I did some test transmissions over the internet and 1 or 2 people said, Mr. Duncan, you're not really streaming live, you're cheating. Well, I can tell you now that this is not cheating. This is absolutely as live can be at 2 minutes past 1. And of course 2 minutes past the hour, depending on where you are watching in the world. So my studio, as you can see, is a little different. There are no curtains behind me. You can see over there in the corner my little globe shining away. Also just behind me here you can see something here. It says hello to. Now I'm planning to do something special today. I'm going to put somebody's name right there. So there it is, the first moments of my live stream way back in 2016. And here we are 2 years later on the very day it all started. Live English. That's what we're doing. And it's Mr. Duncan. That's me, by the way, just in case it's your first time here. I teach English on YouTube. I've been teaching English with my recorded lessons for over 11 years. And 2 years ago, I started doing these live streams. Yes, way back in 2016. And there you just saw the first moments of my very first live stream. The thing is, has it improved? Have I got better at doing it? I'm not sure. Now, I still remember the first time I went live. I was very, very nervous. I was shaking like a leaf before I went on. But here we are 2 years later. I'm still doing it. And of course, things have changed over that time. I think I'm a bit more confident now on camera. At first, it was very strange doing something live. But now, it's just second nature. Second nature. If something is second nature, it means that it comes naturally. Something that may seem unusual or difficult to do is now very easy to do. It is second nature. It is very easy to do. It is such a beautiful day. What a day to celebrate your second anniversary streaming live. Shall we have a look outside? Oh my goodness, here we are. These are live views outside the window. So this is actually the view at this very moment. It is a gorgeous day. Can you believe a couple of days ago we had rain? We had lots and lots of rain, but because the temperature is so high, we have dried out again. All of the rain has gone and we are once again suffering what might be a drought. Drought. Now there's a great word. A shortage of something. Normally water. Is called a drought. So if you have a drought, it means that you have a shortage of water. Let's have another view. So here is another view, a slightly different angle, and there you can see looking over towards the hills in the distance. That is actually looking out towards Shrewsbury. And you can see many of the fields are very scorched. So those fields you can see are actually farmers' fields with all of the crops. And because it's been so dry, what has actually happened is many of the farmers have had to start the harvest early. So quite a few of the farmers are now harvesting their crop, but they are doing it about a month early. So normally they do it at the end of August, but they are now doing it during July because the weather has been so intense with the heat, all of the hot sunny days, and now all of the crops are starting to wither away because of the heat. So many farmers are going out early into their fields and they are gathering their crops early before they get damaged anymore by the sun. So that's what's happening here. So it is the second anniversary. 2 years ago today, I started my live streams and I was very pleased to see something delivered to my inbox this morning. Now, some of my lovely viewers have made a video for me. Would you like to see it right now? I will probably play it again later. So here is a lovely video that has been made by some of my viewers.
Hi, Mr. Duncan. How are you today? Are you okay? I hope so. Are you happy? I hope so. Congratulations on your second anniversary English live stream on YouTube. You've helped so many people to learn English. I've just followed your channel for just about a year, but I am amazed by its content. Your videos are so informative, amazing, and educational with excellent quality. You and Mr. Steve are so clever and fun. I love your live stream. It gives me the opportunities to practice listening and writing in English. I love your garden and the amazing view from your window as well. Thank you so much for your effort, and I hope you keep on producing more videos. That's all for me. You know what's coming next? Ta-ta for now.
Thank you very much for your lovely, kind video. Amazing. Thanks a lot to Mika. Thanks a lot to Tias and everyone else, Belarusia, and all my lovely regular viewers. And the very special message all the way from Vietnam. Thank you so much. I'm very, very moved by it, and I only received it this morning, so it only came into my email box this morning. I think it must have arrived during the night whilst I was asleep in my bed. But thank you very much anyway. Talking of my viewers, I suppose I had better mention the live chat. There it is. The live chat is now on the screen. I wonder who was here today. First. Who was first on the live chat? Let's have a look, shall we? I don't know who it was. I'm very excited to find out. Shirin. Shirin, hello to you. You are the first on the live chat. Congratulations. Also, Tomic is here. Hello, Tomic. You are second today. Francisco, Julie, Alamgia. Also, Andrew is here. Hi, Andrew. Also, Blue Thunder. I'm not sure who Blue Thunder is, but hello to you. Abide is here. Also, Belarusia. Thank you very much for helping with that special video. Thank you very much. I do appreciate all of your greetings. Tias and also Juwera. Juwera, I hope I pronounced your name right. Mika Ode, watching in Japan. Also, Aka Bagus, hello to you as well. Sujin, watching in South Korea, hello to you. Alamgir says, it's the FIFA World Cup final. Yes, it is the World Cup final. I don't know how many viewers I have today. I am expecting not many to join in because I suppose a lot of people are getting ready to watch the cup final. That's not nice, is it? So if you are joining me right now, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Sukat says, happy second live stream anniversary. Yes, 2 years today on the 15th of July 2016. I did my first ever live stream. Belarusia, 2 years, Mr. Duncan. Wow, thank you so much. Congratulations. How are you today, Juwera? I'm okay, thank you very much. It's very hot here again. It's a really, really hot day. But apparently next week it's going to get very cool here in England. The weather is going to change and it's going to become a little cooler. Sukat says hello to TS. Tomek says, I have come first. Happy anniversary. Well, in fact, you were second, Tomek. You didn't come first, you were second. Still, it's better than fourth place, like England. I think the less we say about that, the better. Palmyra says, welcome to all. Lamb Ginger. Hello, Lamb Ginger. I don't recognise your name. Is it your first time? If it is your first time on the live chat, please let me know. Congratulations on your second year of live streaming. Yes. Time is passing by so quickly. You are right, Andrew. And we will be talking all about time today. Because, yes, we are looking back over time to my first ever live stream. And we will be talking about time later on when Mr. Steve comes to join us. Anna. Hello, Anna. Thanks for popping by. Thanks for dropping in. Roa says, congratulations. Thanks a lot. Wesley. Hello, Wesley. Watching in Brazil. Also, Faisal. Hello from Indonesia. I'm crazy about your lessons. Thank you very much. Mariam. Hello to you. And also Irina. Pedro Belmont is here. You should wear the same t-shirt. Do you mean the same t-shirt that I wore in my first ever live stream? I suppose so, but I thought I would wear my smiley face because I feel so happy today. Huang Pham is also here. Hello to you. I think you are watching in Vietnam. Wow, it seems very busy here today. Hamzi Gaffoon or Gaffun. Hello to you as well. Sukat says, I am fine. Yesterday was a lovely day. Today we had a beautiful sun too. A little bit windy and colder. Thank you, Sukat, for that. Alamgir says, it is raining where I am. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. It's so hot. Maybe I can send you some of our sunshine. Would you like it? Would you like that? Chris Mirals says hi. Hello to you, Chris. David is here as well. Hello, everyone. And Mr. Duncan from Georgia. Hello to you as well. Noor likes the view from my window. Thank you very much. Yes, it's a beautiful day today. Absolutely wonderful. Monica says, Mr. Duncan from Argentina. I am from that very country. Thank you, Monica. Tias says, it's nice, Susie. It's a perfect weekend for a family day. Yes, when the weather is nice, it is a good opportunity to get together with all of the friends and family and have a nice time. Maybe you can eat some food outside. Irene says, I am one of your first viewers since 2006. Wow. So you have been watching my recorded lessons since 2006 when I first launched my YouTube channel many, many years ago. Tias. And also Pedro is, Mr. Duncan, where is that video that I sent for you? I can't find it, Pedro. I know which one you mean, but the problem is I have a huge archive of videos with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of videos inside. So yes, I haven't found it, but I will try to search for it. It might take me a while. It's like going into a library and trying to find one particular book. June says, oh, the video is so touching. Thank you very much. Yes, I must admit, I watched it last night. In the early hours of the morning, should I say, when I first saw it. So it was very early this morning when I found the video in my email box. So I watched it and I couldn't believe it. I was quite amazed. We have Egypt watching. Hello, Manar. And also Sekastar. Hello to Tokyo. It's very hot in Tokyo. I believe you've had some very terrible weather there as well. Some weather conditions that have been causing some very terrible problems with rain and flooding, which I'm very sorry to hear about. Hello everyone, hello to you. Hello, it's okay sir. Harry Kane is still the top scorer. Thank you TS for your message. But of course England were beaten yesterday again. What is it about England? They seem to be doing so well in the World Cup, and then they seemed to lose all of their magic. So now they are going home with nothing. Mika says, Tias, thank you. We did it, didn't we? I'm sure that's a perfect present for Mr. Duncan. It is, Mika. Thank you very much. Blue Thunder says, happy 2 years live stream. Yes, 2 years ago today we started doing the live streams. Of course, in the early days, Mr. Steve wasn't involved. So when I first started doing the live streams, it was only me, no Mr. Steve. And then now and again, Steve would drop by. He would come in and drop by and say hello. But now, of course, he has become a very important part of my live stream. He has become very integral. Integral. If someone is integral, it means they are a big part of the thing you are doing. So, Mr. Steve has now become a very integral part of my live stream. Would you like to see something that I made this morning with Mr. Steve in the garden? I tell you what, we'll wait, because Mr. Steve is waiting just around the corner. He's waiting just around the corner to say hello. So I think instead we will say hello to Mr. Steve.
Oh.
Happy 2nd anniversary today. 2 years ago on this very date, the 15th of July 2016, I started my live stream. And in the early days, as I mentioned, Mr. Steve wasn't there, but he is now. And here he is. It's Mr. Steve.
Hello. I'm here today on your 2nd anniversary. Congratulations, Mr. Duncan. Shake my hand. There we go. Congratulations. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Well done.
You have a very firm grip.
Oh, yes. I've got strong, powerful hands. I can crush a man's neck.
I wondered what you were going to say. I wondered what you were going to say then.
Hello.
I can crush a man's
neck. No, I've always had strong, powerful hands. Yes, I'd make a good strangler.
Well, that's good to know.
No, I'm only joking, obviously. I'm not the murderous kind.
Good. I'm very pleased to hear that.
So, yes. So, have you been getting lots of compliments at your 2-year anniversary?
Well, I've had some lovely greetings and also a special video that I played earlier. And let us not forget other things happening today, including the sport. There is football taking place.
Yes.
And also, there is the final of Wimbledon. Yes. Anyone for tennis? So the tennis is taking place. It is the final, the men's final. Look at the weather today. It is absolutely glorious, isn't it?
It's definitely tennis playing weather.
It is a great day for playing tennis, and there you saw Mr. Steve and myself out in the garden this morning playing tennis. That's exactly what we were doing. And there's another view looking out towards Shrewsbury. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? It really does feel like summer, even though we had a lot of rain a couple of days ago, didn't we, Steve?
Oh yes, we had a short, sharp shower.
You got very excited because Steve was wishing for the rain to fall, so the plants in the garden would get watered. But now all of the moisture has dried up again. It's all disappeared because it's scorching hot once again here in the UK. It's Mr. Steve.
It is. And it's Mr. Duncan.
That's
with
me.
His 2-year anniversary, his second anniversary at live streams. So have you got it right yet? Do you think it's going well?
I'm getting there. It's not easy doing this, trust me. If you want to have a go at doing a live stream, all you need is a camera, a computer, and the internet connection, and a little bit of personality, and that's it, and lots of confidence, because it's so hard to do. Trust me, it isn't easy standing up in front of a camera live with all of that pressure. So much pressure.
I'm all right, doesn't bother me.
It doesn't bother me anymore, but I remember the first time. So here's another clip, Mr. Steve, from my first
Another clip
from my first ever live stream. Take a look at this. So this is me 2 years ago today. So this particular thing here that I'm holding in my hand, can you see it? If I press this button here, a little motor comes on at the bottom. This device is for removing spiders. It's a spider catcher. It's true. I'm not joking. This is used for catching spiders. If you have a big spider in your house, and I really don't like spiders. I'm very, very afraid of spiders. I don't like them, especially big ones that are like this. This is for collecting spiders without killing them. So you can pick the spider up without killing it. So you just put it over the spider, and then you turn the motor on like that, and the spider goes inside. And then you put this on the end, you take it outside, and you put the spider into the garden. You let it go. So that's it. That's what this is. It's a spider catcher, but it means that you can catch the spider without having to kill it. So there you go. And I use this all the time. I don't know why. My house, the spiders love coming in, and some of them are really big. They're as big as your hand. They're really big, and they go up inside here, and then I put them outside so they don't die. But then, of course, all they do is turn around and come back in the house again. So there it is, Mr. Steve, what have you got in your hand?
Well, I have the very device that you were just showing 2 years ago. 2 years ago, it's still going. I think there's a spider dangling from your hat, Mr. Duncan. There we go. Yes, I'll take that outside later.
That wasn't a spider, that was my brain.
It's a very useful device, and I've got the turbo fitting on because that makes the airflow more powerful and really sucks them in.
Yes.
But that doesn't work on the big tarantulas. I don't think that would... if one of the tarantulas escaped, we wouldn't be able to use that.
I wonder how many uses you could have of this. Could you use it for other things? I'm sure you could. You could use this for other things. Maybe you could milk a cow with it. You could put it over its udder and milk it. Or maybe you could use it for getting at water.
No.
But its main use is for catching spiders and sometimes flies. But as Steve quite rightly said, you can't use it on tarantulas because they're too big. They won't go up this. They're too large. By the way, we still have the tarantulas.
We do.
We still have them. We're waiting for Steve's friend to collect them. And now we've had to start feeding them live crickets. So it's not something I want to do, and Steve doesn't like doing it, but we have to do it to keep them alive. So now we have to look after the tarantulas and we have to look after the crickets. So we have to feed them as well.
I'll take that away from you, Mr. Duncan. I'll place it down here.
Thank you, Mr. Steve.
On the floor.
It's a lovely day today, and it's the 2nd anniversary. Let's have a look at the live chat.
Oh, yes, please.
I know Mr. Steve is always interested. He always wants to have a look at the live chat. So let's see. Let's go back slightly. Mr. Steve, apparently Pedro says you are the best English teacher. I think Pedro and you would get on very well.
Thank you, Pedro. And what do you think of my my polo shirt today? But yes, hello to everyone. Hello, Julie. Hello, Estes. Hello, Alex. Hello, everybody who's saying hello, and even those who aren't saying hello. Tias. Hello, Tias. Frederica. Pedro. Giuseppe. Pashtana.
Hello, Giuseppe. Mr. Duncan, thank you for all of your lessons and live streams. Thanks to them, my English is getting better and better, and now I am fluent enough. Thank you, Giuseppe. Giuseppe Screamer. Thank you very much. It's great. Is Mr. Steve your brother? No, thank goodness. I'm very glad to say that there is no genetic connection between Mr. Steve and myself, and that is something I'm very glad of.
Probably it would be useful if I was your brother, because at least you would have contact with one member of your family.
Yeah, that's one way of putting it, I suppose. Alex says, who's playing? I'm not really interested in tennis.
No, I don't know who's playing. Do you know, I was just thinking that before, as you were showing the clip of us playing tennis.
Yes.
I was thinking, who is in the final of the men's? I don't recognise any of the names.
Normally we know.
Normally we know it's usually Roger Federer or Nadal or somebody we know. But we don't know that. I haven't been following it this year because the World Cup's been on.
And there's the Russian guy as well with the 5 o'clock shadow.
Oh right, okay.
What's his name? Ivanovich.
Right.
Is he Russian? Oh dear. I get the feeling now suddenly, as I've said that, I don't think he is Russian. But yes, Ivanovich. He always has a 5 o'clock shadow.
Probably a Czech or something like that. I don't know.
Estes says, hello, Mr. Duncan. Do you do farming for a living? No, I don't. I've always been quite interested in farming. I would love to work on a farm and sort of look after the animals and things like that. But the only sad thing is that you have to kill the animals. So sometimes you have to slaughter them. And I don't think I would be very happy with that. You two are very funny. Please keep on doing those videos. We will, for as long as we can. You haven't aged a bit. Well, I hope not in 2 years.
Oh.
I would be really worried if I'd aged in 2 years. Oh dear. Alex said your fly-catching, spider-catching device would be very popular in Australia. Yes, they have lots of creepy crawlies, lots of insects.
It works very well, particularly if they're in the corners of the ceiling.
Yes.
And you need to keep changing the battery because the battery, if that needs to be powerful in order to suck them up. You can get them on, if you go to Amazon, they're available on Amazon. If you search under Spider Catcher, that's where I got it from. Of course, you can get anything on Amazon,
Yes.
including these. They're very good if you're frightened of spiders. As long as they're not too big, though, it can't cope with them if they're too big. They can escape the powerful air currents.
I think in Australia they would have to make a bigger version, a larger version, to catch some of the insects in Australia because they can be very large.
Thank you, Albert. It's Djokovic.
Oh, okay
and
then.
Anderson
Oh,
in today's final.
so I think that was the one I was. Djokovic, yes, and Anderson. I don't know who Anderson is, but I know one thing. I'm pretty sure they're not British.
Djokic and Anderson.
I'm pretty sure they're not British.
I bet you get Djokic if you play lots of tennis. All the
Yes.
sweating.
Oh, I see. Djokic.
Djokic. It's a bit like it's a fungal infection you get in your groin
Oh, great.
through sweating and doing lots of exercise.
So so men get it around their their tackle,
Yes, women get it as well.
their meat and veg.
It's just a fungal infection if you're too hot and sweaty.
Anna says I only know the tennis players Serena Williams and Roger Federer, and of course Serena Williams was beaten yesterday. She was hoping to break the record of her run of wins, but no, she didn't win yesterday. And the other opponent, whose name I can't remember,
Somebody said it earlier.
Oh, okay then.
If you go back a bit,
Let's go back.
somebody did mention it.
Are we doing this again?
Ivanovic is from Croatia.
Are we really doing this again?
Oh, it's gone now.
You do this every time, Steve.
I know. We keep thinking we can spot it, but we can't. We don't know who won yesterday, but she was German, I believe, wasn't she?
She was German, and she. Yes. Well, I think a lot of people were making a point of the fact that she was really playing very well. She really gave Serena Williams a run for her money. A run for her money. If you give someone a run for their money, it means you really do make them work. You make them work.
Yes.
Palmyra says, Angelica Kerber. I think, is that
Yes.
it? Yes, Angelica Kerber. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. That's it. I thought it was Angela, you see. That's what I had in my head. So I'm so glad that I didn't say Angela. Could you explain more clearly what does it mean, the phrase, I stopped waiting for the light at the end of the tunnel? Well, first of all, I'm not going to say what you're saying. Well, waiting for the light at the end of the tunnel means you are waiting for the good things to happen or something to be resolved, maybe a bad situation. So a bad situation, when it comes to an end or when difficulties end, you can say that there is light at the end of the tunnel. There is some hope
Yes.
ahead.
Yes.
So there.
I don't know what the last bit is, but
It sounds a bit like a song to me. I bet it's a rap song. Do you think it's...
you could be right there, Mr.
Do you
Duncan.
think it's rap music?
Yes, it could
Because
be.
they like to say bitch a lot.
They do.
They're very keen on collecting dogs, apparently. They're dog breeders. So they're always comparing their bitches.
Yes.
Making myself laugh. As Sonal says, all the best, Mr. Steve. Yes, well, don't encourage him.
For
Please-
what?
Please don't encourage Steve.
For what? All the best for what?
Can someone please say hello to me? Blue Thunder. I've already said hello to you today, so I will say hello to you again. Mario, congratulations for 2 years with your live show. Long life for the teachers and the English show. I will try, and Mr. Steve will try. We will try our best not to die. That's all you can hope for. Every day when I wake up, I open my eyes with a smile on my face, and the first thing I think is, I hope I don't die today. I'm going to try and get through the day without dying. So that's always good. It's good advice. So that is my special advice today for all those who want to live for a long time. Don't die.
Well, that's very useful advice.
There you go. That's great.
Mr. Duncan, Anna said before we went there.
I should do a TED talk.
I don't think you don't want to encourage people to wake up thinking, oh, I hope I don't die today.
No, I think it's good advice.
If you're in a dangerous situation.
Stay away from cliff edges. Stay away from cars, especially electric cars, because you can't hear them coming. It's the problem, you see. All of these cars now that have electricity in their engines, you can't hear them. They just go...
But there's new legislation coming in later this year.
Oh, no. What have I done?
But if you buy an electric car, it's got to make a sound so that people can hear it coming. So that's the EU. I think it's sensible. So if you buy an electric car now or a hybrid car, it will have to make a noise as it's going along so that people in the supermarkets will recognise that there is a car coming and not wander in front of you with their shopping trolleys. Because I think once the car's moving, the road noise, you can hear it coming. But when it's just at 2 or 3 miles an hour around a supermarket parking area, you can't hear anything. What's Mr. Duncan doing?
Am I getting fat?
Yes.
I'm sure I'm getting fat.
I came back last night. I was in a concert last night with the choir. And when I came back, Mr. Duncan looked very guilty. He looked very guilty. Because earlier that day, we had walked into... Well, we didn't walk in. We drove into town to get a meal.
That's a very important part of the story, by the way.
And Mr. Duncan bought some chocolate, as he always does, every time we go into town. He bought this big bar of chocolate like this for £1. It was on cheap offer.
Just £1?
Just £1. Exactly. So he said, because it's only £1, I'm going to buy it. I came back later and said, oh, Mr. Duncan, I'd like some chocolate. Shall we start on that bar of chocolate? I went into the cupboard. Guess what? It had gone. Mr. Duncan had consumed the whole bar of chocolate. So there was none left. So that's why Mr. Duncan is putting on weight, because he's eating huge bars of chocolate and not taking enough exercise.
I just noticed then, when I walked over there, when I was listening to Steve talking about cars again, I turned round and I caught the sight of myself on the monitor, and I suddenly thought, is that my stomach sticking out?
Yes.
And I think this might be the reason.
That is the bar of chocolate. Or I'm surprised you haven't licked out the inside of it, Mr. Duncan, because there's some crumbs left there. Look.
I'm going to do that now.
Oh, don't let that get on your floor, because it'll go onto the carpet and we won't be able to get it out. But that
You're like an old woman.
This is this bar of chocolate that Mr. Duncan, look.
Do you think I have a problem here? Maybe I have a problem.
Let's have a look.
Maybe I'm addicted.
At the number of calories
we can
that
guess.
are
It's a
inside
lot.
that bar of chocolate.
It's a lot of calories. We know that. Chocolate has a lot of calories. We know that.
So will you please give Mr. Duncan some advice on what he should do?
Yeah, I don't need advice from anyone. I can work that out for myself. I have a brain. Don't eat so much chocolate.
Oh, look what that's saying on the live stream there. Right, I'm having a look here. What's this? 200 grams at least. I would say this was 200 grams, wouldn't you, Mr. Duncan? Oh, it's 100 grams. It's not as much as I thought. So in there we have calories, total calories, 526.
That's disgusting.
That's a quarter of your daily calorific intake. Never mind. You haven't eaten much. What are you doing?
It looks like I'm having a baby. Maybe I am.
That's impossible, Mr. Duncan.
Maybe I'm gonna push a little baby out.
A chocolate one. I meant because you've had chocolate, not because that you've had relations with somebody who is of another colour. No, I was saying chocolate baby because you've eaten chocolate. Oh, let's go to the live stream. Mr. Duncan, you're drawing attention to something that you needn't draw attention to. I said chocolate baby because you had eaten chocolate. I didn't mean a baby of somebody of a different ethnic origin. Unless you've got something to confess, Mr. Duncan.
No, just
have you got something to confess?
The only confession I have is that I ate this whole bar of chocolate last night. I ate the whole thing.
Well, they know that already.
Look. Now I think that this is disgraceful. It was only £1. So can you see there? It says £1. So all of this chocolate you can buy for just £1. So I think it's entrapment. I think they are doing this on purpose to get me fat. So you can't resist. I mean, look at all of that chocolate. £1. So what am I supposed to do?
You're supposed to leave it on the shelf or buy it and give half to me. But you ate it all.
It tastes so delicious.
He was upset because I went out for the evening. You know, I can't leave him alone for 5 minutes. He gets depressed and eats bars of chocolate. Never mind.
What?
We're talking about time. What? You are silly, Mr. Duncan says. Alamgir. I'm having problems pronouncing people's names. Your belly is growing, says Maria. You are expecting, Mr. Duncan, says Mika.
I am expecting... The only thing I'm expecting is a big poo.
Would be better dark chocolate for your health. It would be. Dark chocolate is better. There are slightly less calories, although it's not as nice.
I hope we don't get complaints about Mr. Steve's comment, by the way, because you know nowadays people get so upset. You literally can't say anything. When you go out the house in the morning, you have to have this chip inside your brain, or maybe a part of your brain that now takes care of all the politically correct things that you must say. And you must avoid offending people, because people become offended so easily nowadays.
There we go. There's the person whose name we can't pronounce is saying, I don't see a vodka.
There's no vodka in here.
Says that.
There's no vodka in here. This is just blackcurrant.
Will you tell us your name? Will you please write your name out in English?
Can I finish my sentence? This is blackcurrant juice.
With vodka? No. Oh, Chris says Mr. Duncan is sweet like chocolate. Yes. Well, you could say he's fat like chocolate. Oh, Mr. Steve is thin because Mr. Duncan eats his food. That's true. No, I'm thin because I'm constantly stressed about Mr. Duncan and his live streams.
It's not that bad. You said earlier you were confident and cool.
I enjoy doing it now.
Make your mind up.
You've roped me in over time.
Today we are talking about a very interesting subject, by the way. We are talking about time because today is the anniversary of my first ever live stream, and Mr. Steve has some words connected with time. But there are some questions as well, of course. Time. If you could go back in time, when would you visit? What period of time would you like to visit in the past? Or, of course, maybe in the future. So when would you like to visit? What particular point of time would you like to visit? Would you like to go back in time or maybe forward in time? So, Mr. Steve, you have some words.
We saw an interesting program, a science program called Horizon, which has been going for many, many decades.
Okay, then. Is that relevant?
Yes, because we saw this program all about time.
Okay.
Didn't we? And we thought it was very interesting because they were talking about the latest theories about what is time. What is time?
What is it?
And this long program went on for about 45 minutes. And as you may know, if you've been watching before, I've got a bit of a scientific background. So I've always been interested in these things. And they concluded at the end of this program that still, really, nobody knows what time is. Nobody has really. There's lots of theories.
Well, it's
but
just
nobody
it's just
actually knows.
I know what time is. It's just coming up to 3 o'clock.
Well, that's it. We know what the time is, but we don't know what time itself is.
What is that? What is it? So when we look at that,
Mr. Duncan.
What is it? What are we looking at? So when we experience time, when we go through time, when we spend time doing something, what is it? What is actually happening?
Yes, what is happening? It's the flow of events from the present, from the past, from to the present, through to the future. That's how we experience it, the flow of events. So we can talk about our memories of something that's just happened. So we can talk about that joke I just made about you having a chocolate baby. And so we know that's happened, but we can't go back to it.
I just covered that
We
up.
can't go back to it. We can't correct it. There's nothing we can do.
I wish I could go back in time to the beginning of today's live stream and make sure Mr. Steve doesn't join in.
It was a joke. We know. Well, it wasn't a joke. It was just a statement that sounded like I was trying to say something else, but in fact I wasn't. So there we go. I apologise to anyone who is offended. I hope they weren't. But anyway, that's it. You see, we can't go back, so I can't correct that.
I think
we can't go forward into the future.
I think what we should do is start every live stream with just an apology. So we should say, we apologise for all of the things we say today. We don't mean anything bad by it. So from next week, we will do that. We will have a little thing on the screen. It says, everything you hear, everything we say, please don't take it too seriously because sometimes we're just joking.
Oh, look, Giuseppe is coming to England in August.
Why?
I don't know. And he did ask earlier, or she, Giuseppe, I think that's a man's name.
I don't think women are called Giuseppe.
Is saying, I used to know someone called Giuseppe.
I bet you did.
I did.
That doesn't surprise me.
And it's coming to London. Well, let us know. Let us know when you come to London. We won't come to London, by the way. Don't ask us to come to London.
Well, I'm not going. I'm not going to that filthy city.
And have we ever visited Italy? The answer is no, we haven't. Well, I haven't. And you haven't either.
No, we both haven't.
No, I would like to, though. So maybe if you come and visit London, we'll go and visit Milan or Rome or somewhere like that. That would be very nice, wouldn't it?
Or you just come here. It's much easier. So, yes, so it looks as if Giuseppe is coming to England, and if I have time, I will visit your town.
Please do.
Well, Giuseppe, it's a beautiful place where we live. I'm not sure if you'll get to meet us because we're very busy people.
I'm not. Right. Words connected with time, Mr. Duncan.
Okay, then.
See,
I thought Steve would be more interested in the live chat, but
I am.
Let's have a look.
Let's have another look at the live chat. No, they're my words. They're mine. Let's have a quick look at the live chat then, and then we'll go into the words.
We'll have another look because it's 3 o'clock. We've got half an hour.
Lovely.
Travel through space and time, a bit like Doctor Who.
Doctor Who.
Who watches Doctor Who? It's a great TV show. It's been running for over 50 years.
Yes, Lewis makes a hello, Amy. By the way, Lewis makes a good point there. Time only exists for living creatures, including human beings. Yes, that's true. And time is perceived differently by different living creatures.
Yes, for example, a housefly. Did you know that a housefly experiences time in a completely different way from us? They see everything in slow motion. So when they're doing things, when they're flying, everything is moving at a slower pace to them. So the way they process the surrounding world is very different from the way we process it. We process it with very little time, whereas they process it with lots of time. And that's the reason why it's so hard to catch a fly. So when you try to get a fly like that, it always seems to fly away with plenty of time. And you think, how does it do that? How does it know that I'm about to do that? And that's because they are seeing it in slow motion. So this is how they see what you're doing. They see it like that. But to us, it's just a few seconds, not even that.
just as when we look at an elephant, that's a slower moving creature to us. They seem to be moving much slower than we are. But yes, that's a good point that Lewis made there. So obviously a rock doesn't see the passage of time, even if it had a consciousness.
But of course, we are the only animals on the planet who are actually aware of time. So we are the ones that set all of the parameters. So we actually say it. We say there is time. This is the time. So everything that exists relating to time is everything that we have created. So we have created the concept. I suppose that's the best way of
because we're intelligent,
or the parameters of time.
It may only exist because we seem to perceive it. It may not exist at all. Nobody really knows. I mean, they used to think that you could travel at least forward in time, according to Einstein's theory of relativity, but they're even beginning to think now that might not be true either.
Yes.
So maybe, once the events happen, that's it.
That's it.
So maybe philosophical now.
So maybe we only exist in the present. So maybe this is the only moment when things exist at the present. So that's gone, and that hasn't happened yet. That's it. In fact, it can make your brain overheat if you think about it for too long. So what is time? How do we actually put time into context? How do we actually build time? How do we actually physically see it? How do we understand it? And even now there are many scientists who are scratching their heads and they don't understand fully about time. They don't really understand. We know that we can see things from far away that happened in the past, but that's all because of the speed of light. So because of that, we can actually look far away and see things that happened millions of years ago because of the speed of the light coming towards us. But other than that, there is very little way of knowing exactly what